You already know your blood type. Maybe you found out during a routine checkup, saw it on a donor card, or someone simply asked you one day. It may seem like a simple label, but your blood type is part of the biology you've carried since birth. While it doesn't define who you are, it can reveal fascinating clues about how your body works. Start with type O. If you are type O, you carry neither the antigen nor the B antigen on your red blood cells. You are the universal donor. Your blood can be given to almost anyone in an emergency. That single fact has made type O the most celebrated blood type in medicine for over a century. But the advantages inside a type O body go further than a hospital badge of honor. Research published in the journal Blood has shown that people with type O blood have significantly lower levels of a clotting protein called von Willebrand factor, a molecule that, in high concentrations, can cause blood to thicken and clump inside the vessels. Lower von Willebrand factor means type O individuals tend to have a lower baseline risk of deep vein thrombosis, which is the dangerous formation of blood clots inside deep veins, and a reduced risk of certain types of stroke. Your blood simply flows more freely. Type O individuals also appear to have a measurable advantage in physical endurance. A 2012 study conducted at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology found associations between blood type O and better oxygen-carrying efficiency in red blood cells under sustained physical exertion. Elite endurance athletes are statistically overrepresented among type O individuals in several population studies. Though researchers are careful to note that genetics is never the sole determinant of athletic performance. But type O is not without its vulnerabilities. That same reduced clotting activity that protects against stroke also means type O individuals bleed more easily and take longer to clot after injury. More significantly, research from the University of Vermont published in the journal Gastroenterology found that people with type O blood face a statistically higher risk of peptic ulcers, open sores in the lining of the stomach and upper small intestine. The reason comes down to a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori, which is the leading cause of most stomach ulcers. Studies have consistently found that H. pylori binds more efficiently to the gut lining of type O individuals than to any other blood type, making colonization to the point where the bacteria takes hold and begins causing damage significantly more likely. If you are type O, your gut is, quite literally, a more welcoming environment for one of the world's most common bacterial infections. Now move to type A. If you have type A blood, your red blood cells carry the antigen on their surface. Type A is the second most common blood type globally, and it comes with a distinctive biological profile that researchers have been studying closely for decades. The cardiovascular picture for type A individuals is more complicated than for type O. A landmark 2020 analysis published in Arteriosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology, a peer-reviewed journal of the American Heart Association, pooled data from more than 400 participants and confirmed that individuals with type A blood face a modestly but measurably higher risk of coronary heart disease compared to type O. Part of the mechanism involves those higher von Willebrand factor levels. Type A blood tends to carry more of this clotting protein in circulation, which over years and decades can contribute to increased arterial plaque buildup and a higher likelihood of clot-related cardiac events. That is a real risk worth knowing. But type A also carries specific biological strengths that rarely get discussed. Dr. Peter D'Adamo, a naturopathic physician and researcher who spent years studying the relationship between blood type and immune function, documented in his research that type A individuals appear to produce a more reactive and sensitive immune response to environmental pathogens, particularly viral infections. While this sensitivity can sometimes tip into overreaction, it also means the type immune system tends to mobilize faster and more aggressively against novel threats. Population data from several countries during large-scale viral outbreaks has consistently noted that type A individuals tend to develop stronger antibody responses after infection or vaccination. Though outcomes depend heavily on the specific pathogen involved, your immune system, if you are type A, is wired to respond quickly. The question is always whether that speed tips toward protection or inflammation. Type A individuals also appear to have a distinct relationship with cortisol, the primary stress hormone produced by your adrenal glands, the small organs that sit just above your kidneys. Research from the Cleveland Clinic has noted that type A individuals show higher baseline cortisol reactivity, meaning that under stress, your body tends to flood your system with more cortisol and takes longer to return to baseline calm. Over time, chronically elevated cortisol accelerates cellular aging, suppresses immune function, and raises cardiovascular risk. This does not mean type A individuals are destined for high stress. It means that stress management is not optional maintenance for a type A body. It is targeted biological defense. Type B blood tells a different story. If you are type B, you carry the B antigen on your red blood cells, and you belong to one of the less commonly studied blood type groups in Western medical research, a fact that has created some gaps in the literature but has not prevented researchers from identifying clear patterns. Type B blood appears to carry a specific vulnerability in the cardiovascular system. The same 2020 American Heart Association analysis found that type B individuals carry a measurably elevated risk of deep vein thrombosis, those dangerous internal blood clots, compared to type O. The mechanism is again tied to clotting factor levels, specifically elevated concentrations of factor Xa, a protein involved in the blood clotting cascade that, when present in excess, can tip the balance toward dangerous clot formation inside veins. But the most well-documented and striking vulnerability for type B individuals involves a completely different system. A large-scale cohort study published in the journal Pancreas, drawing on data from the Nurses' Health Study at Harvard University, one of the longest-running studies of women's health in history, found that individuals with type B blood face a significantly elevated risk of pancreatic cancer compared to type O. The pancreas is the organ tucked behind your stomach that produces both digestive enzymes and insulin. The mechanism behind the type B association is not yet fully understood, but researchers believe it involves the way B antigens interact with the immune surveillance system that normally detects and destroys abnormal cell growth. When those antigens interfere with immune signaling in the pancreatic tissue, the result may be reduced early detection of malignant cells. This is not a certainty for any individual, but it is a biological signal worth taking seriously. Regular screening and pancreatic health awareness are elevated priorities for type B individuals in a way they simply are not for type O. On the advantage side, type B individuals show some of the strongest gut microbiome diversity in population studies. The microbiome, the vast ecosystem of bacteria living in your digestive tract, is now understood by researchers including Dr. Rob Knight at UC San Diego to be one of the most powerful regulators of immune function, mood, inflammation, and long-term disease risk in the entire human body. Type B individuals appear to maintain more diverse and resilient gut bacterial populations, particularly certain strains of lactobacillus that are associated with reduced systemic inflammation and better metabolic efficiency. Your gut, if you are type B, may be your greatest hidden asset. And then there is type AB. If you carry type AB blood, you have both the antigen and the B antigen on your red blood cells simultaneously. You are the rarest of the four main types, found in roughly 3 to 4% of the global population, and your biology is, in several ways, the most complex. Type AB is the universal recipient. In an emergency, you can receive blood from any type without your immune system attacking it, because your immune system recognizes both A and B antigens as self. That is a powerful advantage in a clinical setting. But outside the hospital, type AB carries some of the most significant disease risks of any blood type. The 2020 American Heart Association analysis confirmed that type AB individuals face the highest risk of coronary heart disease of all four blood types. They combine the elevated clotting risk of type O with some of the inflammatory tendencies of type B, creating a cardiovascular profile that researchers describe as requiring the most proactive monitoring and lifestyle intervention. There is also a notable connection between type AB blood and cognitive health. A study published in Neurology, the official journal of the American Academy of Neurology, found that type AB individuals face a 80% higher likelihood of developing cognitive impairment and memory problems compared to all other blood types combined. The researchers, led by Dr. Mary Cushman at the University of Vermont, traced part of the mechanism to those elevated clotting factors. Again, higher circulating levels of von Willebrand factor and factor VIII appear to reduce blood flow efficiency in small cerebral vessels, which over time may contribute to the kind of microdamage that accumulates into cognitive decline. That is a number worth sitting with. 80% is not a guarantee. It is a signal, and signals exist to be acted on. The hidden strength of type AB blood lies in immune versatility. Because type AB individuals recognize both A and B antigens as belonging to the self, their immune systems are less likely to produce misdirected antibody attacks, a category of immune error that drives autoimmune diseases, where the body attacks its own tissue. Population data suggests that type AB individuals have among the lowest rates of several autoimmune conditions, including certain forms of inflammatory arthritis and lupus. When your immune system is less likely to confuse self with threat, it can spend more of its energy where it belongs. So what do you do with any of this? If you are type O, your gut is your vulnerability and your cardiovascular system is your asset. Protect the first, respect the second. If you are type A, your immune system is fast and reactive and your stress response is amplified. The research points clearly towards stress reduction, sleep prioritization, and cardiovascular vigilance as non-negotiable priorities. If you are type B, your gut microbiome may be your greatest biological strength. Feed it with diversity. And take pancreatic health awareness seriously in a way that your doctor may not have told you to. If you are type AB, your immune versatility is a genuine biological gift. Your cardiovascular and cognitive risks mean that protecting blood flow and brain health through regular movement, cardiovascular monitoring, and mental engagement is the most targeted investment you can make in your long-term health. Your blood type was decided before you drew your first breath, but what you do with that information starts right now.